I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Famous words from Jay-Z, who now Forbes has touted as rap's first billionaire with a B. That is an amazing feat for most people, in fact, let alone a rap artist. But Jay-Z has something different in what he has done to try to build his empire. And you look at doctors and physicians and wonder where they may be and why you don't see billionaire doctors. And there are some similarities, but mostly differences as we look at these two parallel circumstances. Now, first of all, Jay-Z has spent lots of time perfecting his craft. So he is a rap artist by nature, and he has made maybe 14 albums to perfect his craft. Now, doctors, on the other hand, spend many years perfecting their craft, going through school and training, residency, and continue to practice their craft out in the real world to become the best physician. So that's great. That's a good start. However, doctors may make 10 to 20 million dollars or more during their lifetime of career, but they never see a whole lot of that because they get taxed by the federal government, and there's lots of taxes. The worst part is that out of that money that they are paid, they tend to generate maybe 2.1 to 2.4 million dollars a year for hospital systems. These are the employed docs, and this is in primary care. If they are a specialist, it may be 3.5, 3.7 million a year. And so you think about that revenue that's being generated, and you may have seen some of those posts that are there. So looking at that specifically, that can be a problem because a lot of times with this type of money, that's just a paycheck that's coming to you every week. But there are side hustles and side streams, and Jay-Z decided to go on tour and go market himself and brand in front of his audience and his people. So he went out to perform on tour. Well, doctors perform on tour sometimes too. They may speak at conferences, they may give a grand rounds, and they're out there speaking and doing their thing. But the thing is, a lot of doctors may do that type of activity for free. So they're not getting paid at all, and they don't bring that in. In addition, the differences get even more so because Jay-Z ended up being a brand of his own, which really goes back to that statement. He's not a businessman. He is a business man. And it's great to understand that because he actually took that and he built his brand based on his love for rap music, which is great. But doctors tend to build their brand around a hospital system. Employed docs especially build all of their brand building is really in their employer. So doctors often take little time to build their own brand and awareness and go out for their fans. Thus, you are missing additional opportunities. I know this one is a little bit longer than my normal briefs, but there are a few points that I wanted to get out today since this was a big news topic today. I'll follow up in a blog. I'll follow up in the License to Live podcast as well. So Jay-Z went on to kind of manage his tax liability, which doctors sometimes do if you get professional help. But when you are employed, there's very limited tax ways that you can shield your taxes based on an employment agreement if you don't have your own business. And Jay-Z went on to start several businesses that probably fit in with his brand. It also fit in with some of his passions. So looking at music, he founded a record label, he founded an entertainment group, he founded and bought a streaming service. So a lot of things that go around music he did, and these were business moves to further his brand and bring his bottom line even to a larger level. And a lot of times we don't spend that same time investing in our own brand and making things in our own brand, or even going after our own passions as physicians, because, well, our passions may not mix up. If you listen to the License to Live podcast, there are a lot of guests I have on there that have passions outside of medicine. And you'll hear some in upcoming episodes that have musicians, they're dancers, they have actors. We've had a lot of other interests people have had, but they are afraid to go after them because they were trained to be a physician, and they get locked into that clinical world and they don't go after that passion. But Jay-Z has made, besides record labels, he's made liquor brands. He's teamed up with Bacardi to make a new cognac. He's done a high-end champagne. So he's done other things. And he started a clothing line. So all of these things that he has passions for, he was able to figure out a way how to bring it into his life and make it a part of his business. So I want all of you out there who are struggling to get your passions, who are struggling to go into work day after day after day, and you just don't feel like you have that same commitment back, take a look at this example, because if you build yourself, you've already invested so much time into yourself, but if you look to build your brand, if you look to follow your passions, there are other ways that you can support yourself as well. And then maybe you can get to be that billionaire status too. Doesn't hurt to start today. Guys, take care, and I'll see you next time.